What David Pearson and the Wood brothers had was magic. The Woods were a small town team, and Pearson was a wildly talented driver who cared nothing for the sport's glitz and glamour. All either side wanted was to win, and for several glorious years in the 1970s, they were elite. In a perfect world, they would have stayed together, but it didn't happen. The end of the David Pearson and Wood Brothers Association has long been traced back to a botched pit stop in the spring of 1979 at Darlington. And the fact is, they did immediately part ways. According to David, however, the relationship between he and the team had already been simmering before boiling over at Darlington.
Everybody thought when them tires come off the car, that's the reason we split up. But no, we was about to break up anyway. We had got to where we argued a little bit about little small things. It didn't matter, what it was, and that's usually what happens like that when something, you just get. We wasn't winning, and I guess I heard they was blaming me, and of course I also heard it, some things that they said that I said, which they was getting information from the wrong man, because. I have never said a thing about the Wood brothers about it being bad or anything their fault or nothing like that, because to me, they are the greatest people that I ever drove for. As far as that goes, they're just the whole family is just as nice as they can be. And I have never said anything bad about them or anything like that, but. What I've ever said to them is about them has been to their face. I have never said nothing behind them, and I think the world of them. I really do.
Back in the garage following the pit miscue, David seemed as calm, cool, and collected as he ever had.
Well, I just come in the pits, and undoubtedly, I didn't know they was going to change all four tires. Of course, they usually tell me, but that time, I guess I was so interested in beating Darrell out of the pits, I didn't hear him. But anyway, when they let the jack down, that's the signal to go when the jack goes down. And, of course, they let the jack down, and Leonard didn't come around the front. And I was wondering why he didn't come around, front of the car. But I don't know. I guess me so eager trying to beat Darrell out, I was just took off, and they'd already took the lugs off the left tires.
When did you know the lugs were off? Did they tell you on the radio, or did the wheels come off first?
Yeah, they was hollering for me to whoa, and I thought they was saying go, So then, of course, I was trying all I could to go down the go down the pit road, and they fell off.
Anything like this ever happened to you before?
No, never has.
Well, let's hope it never happens again, David.
Well, thank you, Chris. Better luck.
Years later, David's story remained essentially the same.
When the tires got off, it teed us both off, because they told me that at that time my windshield somebody done blowed the motor at times, and I couldn't hardly see out the windshield, nothing like that. And I told them that I had to clean the windshield, and so they didn't clean the windshield to stop before that. I couldn't hardly see. And the next pit stop, they told me I was going to have to beat Darrell out, because Darrell was in front leading the race then. And we both was going to pit, and he said, "No, be ready, because we got to beat Darrell out." And when you take off in the pits, the signal is to go when that jack falls. As quick as that jack falls, you're supposed to go. And so they did not tell me that they was going to change all four tires. And I told them I had to get that windshield cleaned, because I couldn't see good. And especially getting late in the evening there, and the sun shining in the windshield, it's coming off forward at Darlington. So when I come in for the pits, Glenn leaned over and was cleaning my windshield. Well, I couldn't see the guy come down, squat down, and take the left front tire off. I couldn't see that. Yeah. And, of course, I couldn't see the rear tire either, right. Far as that goes. So while he was cleaning the windshield, they was taking the tires off, in which I didn't know that. And, of course, I was watching Darrell up front, and I was ready to, beat him out of the pits, what I was trying to do, And so when and besides, when you change four tires, they always say change four tires. And I stay further enough away from the wall where the jack man can get in there and jack the car up with plenty of room. And where if it's just 2 tires, I'd get close to the wall so they wouldn't have to force to go run around the car.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to make everything quicker and faster. And so when I come in the pits, they didn't say change 4 tires. And when they was leaning over cleaning the windshield, I couldn't see the guy squatting down taking them tires off, And so when they dropped the jack on that right side, I took off.
And so did your tires.
Right. And so I got down there in the pit road and they come off, So, but everybody thought that's what it was, but it wasn't really what it was. We just, Leonard and myself, we got to where we'd argue about any little old bitty thing. It didn't mean nothing, but just wanted to argue about something, because it wasn't, was it?
Here's a little known part of the story that is especially bewildering. David Pearson did not have to leave Wood Brothers Racing after Darlington. It was only after primary sponsor Purolator stepped in that the split was finalized.
Yeah, it was the biggest mistake we ever made. And the fact is, we just smoothed it over, and I was calling him up and telling him what we're going to run Martinsville with, and just going to forget it and go on about our racing, and the sponsor stepped in and said that no, we'd done gone too far and didn't want us to do it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have went through.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that, I don't guess. The sponsor stepped in and said we couldn't do it. But if David was alive, he could tell you that I called him up, had a telephone conversation, telling him what kind of transmission and gear was going to run and everything.
David Pearson was replaced by Neil Bonnet. Ironically enough, the driver whose accident had brought out the caution at Darlington, during which things went haywire for Pearson and the Woods. David would not compete on the Winston Cup circuit again until later in the season, when he subbed for injured rookie Dale Earnhardt, culminating with a win at, you guessed it, Darlington.